It takes, that's you, 3 takes, not me, 2 takes if you lucky, first take, stop me, 4 takes, that's you, 3 takes, not me, 2 takes if you lucky, first take, you got me.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the Cobb and Dash Show. I'm Marcus Dash here with co-hosts Ryan Cobb and our newest co-host Marcus Berry. How you guys doing? Week 8 was it was rough for some, good for others. How you guys doing, Barry? 2-game win streak. I don't think I didn't notice that, buddy. We're gonna get into that in a second here, but how's everyone doing?
Doing good, man. I'm happy with how last week went. Barry, how you feeling?
Feeling great.
That's great.
I'm ready to rock here. So
that's great. Yeah, you got a big matchup coming up this week.
Underrated.
Underrated.
On out is big. So
no, you the must wins you've already done at this point. Now it's all kind of a luxury, I think. But yeah, I think he dodged the bullet with the Cooper Kupp injury at the end of that game. Don't know what he was doing, leaving him in the game. So we got week 8 takeaways before we get to my favorite part of the show. I got a couple favorite parts of the show, but one of my favorite parts of the show. Yeah, it's a great show. Huge matchup. I think he's talking about you and Roden, so big one. We're gonna go to the week 8 takeaways. So the week 8 takeaways for me. I'll begin with my week 8 takeaways. Obviously, we mentioned Barry doing his thing, but being the high scoring king of the league at the 226 points I put up a couple years back during my championship season. It was kind of scary to see my guy Adam come very close to breaking my record. I think he had 216. So close, but no cigar. But Adam, kudos to you for giving me a good run. I didn't think you could do it. I honestly think your team was crap. But hey, like you have a couple of home run hitters in the team, and if they're going to be scoring, if they're going to hit home runs, yeah, you can put up 216 just like that. So, I think Adam's score was being second place all time, the BL Plus single game scoring record. I think it's pretty cool. So, yeah, that was my week 8 takeaway.
Yeah, my week 8 takeaway is just insanely close league. This might be the closest it's been this late into the season. I think every single the top 8 teams all have a legitimate shot at making some noise in the playoffs. I'm going to be interested to see what six makes it.
yeah, and to add on what Cobb was saying, it's very close. So like a loss here for anyone that's really competing, that could be the end of their season. So, but my biggest takeaway is Stu finally getting his first loss. Who
beat him?
I happened to beat him, and both the co-hosts here on the show said I was going to lose that game, but I got the job done. So I'm excited for that, and I'm excited for the rest of the season.
Curie, it's interesting because every time we do a week 8 takeaway, your takeaway is always about your team. Pretty. If you're going to be a host in this show, I want you to be a little more spread the love a little bit. We know you love your team. Let's spread the love a little bit. What's that?
I said him or Tasia. Those are his teams.
I know, right? Spread the love a little bit. You take some points. You want to be a host in the show. You want to take over next year when Alex is back. You want to possibly take his job. This is your test run right here, buddy. So this is you're like Deontay Foreman of the BL Plus Cobb and Dash show right now. Do you want a starting job? Play like it. All right. So act like you're gonna be a co-host in the show. So you got a couple more weeks left to up your week 8 your takeaways from the previous week. So we'll get to that.
Well, to add on to that, I'll go into the Hotch and Paul matchup last week. That was very, very close. So I think it was 0.2, Paul won by, so or 0.02. I'm sorry. That was crazy, and it literally came down to almost the last play of the game, just about. So that was pretty pivotal.
Yeah, pretty pivotal. I don't know what you're talking about, TJ. I didn't even talk about my team from last week. I lost, so why the hell did I talk about my team last week? Yeah, of course I'm going to talk about the high scoring single game ever. Yeah, it just happens to be my team. Adam came second place to that. Jeez, yeah, you guys are getting too ridiculous, I think we're have to disable audience comments, with comments like that. But yeah, okay. So the high score we talked about obviously was Adam. The worst score of the week was our guy Alex, which we thought we were going to see a lot more of him. And I think as the season continues to go, we're going to see bye weeks in with the bums that he has in starting lineup. I think we're going to see a little more from him. But the best part about Alex having to chug is Alex doesn't drink alcohol. He doesn't drink. So he's not religious or anything, just doesn't drink. But he sent me a video. I haven't even watched it myself, but he sent me a chug. And I think it's like his 6th time ever touching alcohol in his life. So I think he needs to start saddling up, because I think in that coming weeks, we're going to see a lot of chugging coming, hopefully at least. But this is brought to you by Marcus Berry Fitness. We're getting closer to the holidays. I know everyone wants to splurge when they go home for the holidays, eat some turkey. But Turkey Bowl season's coming up, and Winter Wonderland Bowl is coming up for a lot of people. So call Marcus Berry, get fit, get right, get in good shape, because Turkey Bowl's coming, and you don't want to be the slacker. You don't want to be the last pick of your team's Turkey Bowl draft. So that's call Marcus Berry and get in shape for the season.
Another one of my favorite workouts is the reverse lunge. The way we're going to do this is we're going to step on the resistance bands, and then you're going to place one of your feet backward. And then once you do that, you're going to raise up the bands all the way up to your shoulders, and then you're going to squat down, okay? You're going to start your lunge. So you're going to make sure your knees are over your toes, and then get in your lunge position and squat down. Making sure your thighs are parallel to the ground.
All right. Okay. So now that's Marcus Berry Fitness. Make sure you give a call or DM Marcus Berry if you want to get in good shape for the holiday season. And without further ado, here is Alex Olson's 6th taste of alcohol he's ever had in his life, and his first chug, low scored chug of the season. So,
all right, week 8, lowest scored chug. This will be worth it. This plus the pancakes will be worth it for the first overall pick. We'll be back. Don't you worry. I dedicate this to ZT. Don't drink and drive, kids. All right, got a little high nooner here. Get that bad boy. All right. Get some of that fuzz down here. Cheers.
It's pretty good. This is the worst pour of all time, but that's pretty good.
Come on, the guy doesn't drink alcohol, man. Come on, yeah, come some slack there. That was pretty solid.
That was good. Tasia said it too. I always like when the people crack the beer on camera, so we know there's no funny business going on either.
Yeah, especially too, because if we just came on camera and I saw the glass fill up, I would think that's not a full thing.
Oh, yeah.
That must have been a really long glass. But yeah, good job, Alex. We'll be seeing you probably around this time again next week doing the same old thing. Oh man, he's got a really bad team. Okay, all right, so we're gonna get into. We got a full pack show for you guys. Obviously, we got Pancake King rankings coming up at the end of the show, and also we have Barry's motivational squeeze coming up at the end of the show. I think he's got something good in store for us today. But we're gonna get us started with the first matchup of the week. This is one of our co-hosts here. It's Cobb versus ZT. Barry, take it away. Give us some Cobb versus ZT action.
All right, here. All right, so obviously Cobb is tanking for next season, and we got ZT here, who had a big win last week. And so to lead things off, we have Justin Fields against Lamar Jackson. I don't know. I'm going to take Fields there. Fields in this position. He's played very well over the last couple of weeks. Double digit or 20 points in fantasy in the last couple of weeks is very, very, very big for him. And for here, Garrett Wilson and Amon-Ra St. Brown. I'm taking St. Brown there. Dalvin Cook and Kamara. I'm going to take Kamara there off a huge win last week, or huge 3-touchdown performance last week, and the win. Then you have Higbee versus Isaiah Likely. Likely might be the guy over there. Definitely not, but I like what he's doing over there. I think he'll continue what he was doing from last week. Damian Harris versus Stevenson. Wow. I'm taking Stevenson. Even though Cobb was just talking about how Damian Harris might be the guy still, but Stevenson's looked very, very, very good. So then you have Thornton and Terry Mack. I'm taking Scary Terry here. He's been playing very well. So you have Huntley and DK Metcalf. I'm taking Metcalf. Overall, ZT wins this one pretty easily. I'm going 135 to 110.
Kyle, what do you have with the score here for this one?
Yeah, no, I just want to say I actually would have liked my chances here if all of my other players weren't on bye. I might be looking forward to next year, but I'm still going to put my best lineup out there every single week. Unfortunately, this week I had about 8 people on bye that would be potentially starting for me, with the Steelers and Cowboys and Broncos all on bye. But yeah, I think it's going to be interesting to watch. ZT's been hyping up my team all week. Don't like that. ZT's going to win this pretty easily. I might break 100, 110. That'd be key if I do. But I'll give ZT the win here, 135 to 107.
Yeah, I don't think there's really not a lot to say on this team. You're starting Caleb Huntley, who's like now with Patterson potentially back this week. He's like the 3rd-string running back over there. So I mean, I don't even. He might not even like play. He might even be not inactive for the game on Sunday. So that's one thing. You're starting Key. You know, that's one thing I will say. You know, you're pretty much done for the season, but it's Key. You're starting like a lot of the guys on your team, your Patriots. So that's like Key. You can kind of watch your guys. You know,
have to.
And root for them. But yeah, I think it's gonna be a blowout. Justin Fields over Lamar. No, dude, come on. That's silly. I know you're a Bears fan, but come on, dude. That's dumb. Let's be real about all this, buddy. I think
I like that.
I think ZT wins like 135 to like 105. Yeah, so pretty much close to that score. Yeah.
I am realistic about that.
Yeah, I think Fields looks pretty key.
Yeah, check his numbers.
Dude, he
went down. His defense is great, and he dropped a 30 on him. Come on.
Yeah,
I'll give you a little more of a chance there.
And the Dolphins have a really bad rush D, so he that's another opportunity for him to have a big game. So
okay, but I'll say this though: Lamar is going to put up a 40 spot. Like he's put up like multiple 40 spots this year. Fields has never put up any 40 spots. So as far as a potential blow up game, Lamar has that over Fields.
Sure, but those were also in the first 3 weeks of the season. So
and at prime time, look at Lamar Jackson's numbers in prime time. I think he's got a winning record in prime time, and I think fantasy wise, he's got like a 35 plus on primetime games. So look that up. Look it up. I think the last Monday night game he played last year against the Browns. Remember that game where he went to take a shit and came out locker room? I think he had a 60 that week. So let's not dog him. All right.
I'm not dogging him.
I'm not dogging him. Yeah, I'm just saying Fields it could be in for a big day.
That's a good question. Who has more weapons, Ravens or Bears?
Bateman out for the season. Depends on Andrews plays, I guess, too.
Yeah, likely.
The best weapon out of all of them.
Likely Andrews. Kenyon Drake.
Montgomery.
Yeah, Duvernay.
Justice Hill.
Yeah, I'd say the Ravens. Bears just got Claypool, and that's pretty much it. It's Darnell Mooney.
You got St. Brown.
St.
Brown.
Pettis.
It's not really much of a threat, but
Pettis. Yeah, it's pretty bad. Both
it's
have
bad,
full
dude.
weapons. Really? Tage is weak. He must have a lot of stock in these guys.
Cole Kmet.
Yeah, but Mooney would probably be their number one, but I think they would use him more than the Bears use him. The Bears don't even utilize him. They had to go get Claypool.
Mooney's not a number one guy.
No, but I think he's saying
Like
he's
a
using the
strong
Ravens.
two. We just don't
he'd
have
be
a
the
number
number
one yet.
Yeah, that's all right. You guys come
So-
around.
Hopefully, in the offseason, we trade for a star receiver. So that'd be great.
I feel like he needs
Yeah.
line help.
What's that?
I feel like he needs some line help too.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
That's a
And,
disaster.
and D line too. We can't stop the run.
Yeah, Mooney has averaged a lot of targets the last few weeks. All right, so Tage's on right now. He's being a little mouthy with us. Kyle, let's give it to him. Let's give him a little taste of what's going on here. Give him Tage versus Ruben.
This is a key matchup this week. I think this is a. Well, I was talking earlier. My takeaway was how close every team is, and I think Tage is going to be thinking the schedule here to give him a should be cupcake matchup with Ruben, giving him a win. I guess spoilers. I'm picking Tage to win this matchup.
Ooh,
We'll go position by position. Joe Burrow against Rodgers. I'm gonna go Burrow, but Rodgers going against Detroit. Detroit has been getting shredded all season. I think this is gonna be close, even though Burrow didn't do anything other than he threw a touchdown to T. Higgins at the end of the game. But Ruben went back to his old scoring ways of not putting up numbers. I'll give Burrow the slight edge. Otherwise, it's pretty close to watch, but I'll give Burrow the edge. Higgins versus Myers, I'll give it to Higgins. Like, this is Rashad White against Aaron Jones, going Aaron Jones. Tunyon versus Pitts. I do like the stack there. That's key stuff. Kyle Pitts has kind of been back a little bit. He's getting the targets. The touchdowns have helped. Oh, Jesus Christ. I'll give Tunyon the edge there.
really? Wow.
Yeah. I mean, that offense is so, like, sometimes they'll throw it 15 times a game. Other times they'll actually get Pitts involved. We'll see. Gabriel Davis versus Godwin. I'm going to give a wash to that. Godwin, it probably has the higher floor, but like his floor is also his ceiling. Like, it's in the 10 to 13 range where Davis can blow up. So I'll give that a watch there. Hopkins versus Doubs, whatever. Give Hopkins the edge there, even though I do like Ruben kind of using another. We talked about how we like other players or other teams using weapons from the opposing team's quarterback, and that's what Ruben's doing here. And Noah Fant against Etienne. I'll give Etienne the edge there. So I have Tasia winning this pretty handedly. I think this is going to be, let's call it a one. I like the projections. For Tasia, I'll give him 131, and then Ruben, I'll give 105. He's going to hope that Burrow and Higgins keep turning it on, even though they didn't really do it against the Browns, but divisional games can be kind of rough anyways. So,
Barry, what's your projection for this game?
140 to 112 or 110. Tasia.
All right. It's not bad. Yeah, I think the same with you guys. I think it's gonna be a blowout. I will say, I will say this, we talked about Adam. We gave Adam his flowers for scoring a 216 last week. Any other week, Tasia probably would have won the high score. He had 174. So I mean, let's give the guy some credit. He's really built this CP team. I don't think I have to look at the archives, but since Tasia took over CP's team, it's now really the CP franchise. We're going back in the history. It's like, it's like the Washington Commanders took over the Redskins. So we have to look at the Redskins history. And the Thunder were taking over Supersonics. They have to go back to the Supersonics history. That's the highest score in the CP era. And CP organizations, that team got established, the no legs establishment. That's the highest score ever from the CP reign. So, you know what? Tasia really rebuilt that new organization. They've really done some good stuff on there. And yeah, I love it. I love it. Yeah, Tasia's giving you guys some shout outs. You guys are really big fans. I do not inherit his win percentage. No, you don't, but we're taking in the records, and CP never scored a 170. I don't think he ever scored anything above a 160. So you're 174. That's a club record right there. So good job. And yeah, I'll double down with you guys. I think he dominates this week. Let's go 107 to 145.
That's false. He's actually scored 167 against me. The year I won the championship, that he was one of my losses, and I got blown out that game.
Okay, so 174 still eclipsed the 167 there. Pretty solid.
Yeah, I was just thinking about like CP back in the day, and his old team. So
No. Ooh, very quick on the stat. Good call, Tej.
yeah, I
Yeah,
was looking this up.
Barry's gunning for Alex's job. Alex just like Alex didn't even want to come on the show today to do the show. He sent me the video at like 11 p.m. last night. Now I don't think he's earned a full-time host job yet. He's fighting for it. He's got to finish out the season strong, record-wise and show-wise. But he's coming on, Tej. He's coming on. All right, we're gonna go to our next matchup here. We got this is me, this is Stu, and Alex. All right, let's go to Stu and Alex here. I mean, this is another one. A lot of I will say a lot of like bad matchups this week. A lot of like gimme wins. I mean, I think we've gone over like 3 of them. Okay, so Stafford, Jalen Hurts tonight. But anytime you have a Thursday night game, it's always like that could be a disaster. Just in my experiences, whenever I had a Thursday night game, like it's either been a key or it's been a fucking disaster. It's never in the middle. Christian Kirk, Michael Pittman. Actually, how did Pittman do last week with 9 targets?
Yeah. He
that's a watch. I think Kirk and Pittman are pretty like.
No, he had a drop. He had a couple drops, I think.
Kirk and Pittman are like clones of each other, really. Like looking at the stats and stuff. But yeah, I'll probably give a watch for that one. Singletary and James Conner. Is Conner going to play? What's the status on him? Limited in practice. He'll probably play. He hasn't played in a while. Jesus. Singletary's been solid. Been a low floor guy. High floor. I'll go Singletary probably slightly in this one. Let's go Hurst and Goddard. Give me Goddard. Give me Swift over Rondale Moore. If Swift plays, does he have Jamal Williams? He does not have Jamal Williams. Huh? Josh Jacobs, Devin Duvernay. Give me Josh Jacobs. And then Hunter Renfrow, David Montgomery. I'll take Montgomery in that one. Surprisingly, this is a pretty close matchup here. I don't think this is actually be this big of a blowout. Does Stu have a lot of buys? Only 1 buy. Wow. I'm not that impressed with Stu's team after I look at it. I think Stu wins, but I think it's going to be a close one. Let's go 127 to 119. This is actually pretty close. This shouldn't be that close at all. Cobb, what are your thoughts here?
I don't think it's as close as you were letting on, but it'd be key if Alex somehow beats Stu. I'm going to go Stu 135 to Alex's 93.
Really? Interesting.
Yeah.
That's pretty close.
I'm going 130 to 109 Stu.
Interesting. Sorry, we got a background noise here, guys. So next matchup here, we got Hotch and Adam. Barry, I believe this is you.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
1 second here.
Let's see what you got.
All right, here we go. All right, so Adam has a couple guys on bye week here. After a huge 215 point total last week. Dak had a big game, but this matchup here, you have Kirk Cousins versus Josh Allen. Give me Josh Allen. You have A.J. Brown versus Chris Olave. Now with Michael Thomas, like now they know for sure Michael Thomas isn't coming back for the rest of the season. Olave is the guy over there. But I'm going to take A.J. Brown here.
Okay.
Then you have Derrick Henry versus Kenny Walker. Ooh. Could be a wash there. They both look really good. And yeah, I'm taking that as a wash. Then you have Evan Ingram versus TJ Hawkinson. Now, he got traded to the Vikings, and I think they'll feature him more, so I'm going to take Hawkinson there. You have Drake London versus Dameon Pierce. I'm taking Drake London. Or excuse me, I'm taking Dameon Pierce. Sorry about that. Then you have Taysom Hill and then Joe Mixon. That could be a wash too. Yeah, I'm counting it as a wash. Then you have Carter versus Justin Jefferson. Give me Justin Jefferson. I think Hotch wins this one. I'm gonna go 145 to 141.
Damn, you got a nail biter there.
Yeah.
2 nail biters in a row for Hodge. Interesting. Cobb, where do you have this one?
I think this would potentially be game of the week if it wasn't for Adam's buys. Because of the players he has on bye week, I'm going to go with Hodge here pretty handily. I'm going to go 140 to 125.
Interesting. Yeah, it's interesting too because this is a team. Adam specifically is a team that Hodge has pointed out as such a bad team. He really thinks it's a really bad team, which is interesting because
starters are good.
Yeah, he does have really good starters. So I will say the Kenneth Walker versus Arizona and Derrick Henry versus. I mean, I think we're going to sell out for the run this week and stop because it's all you have to do against Tennessee. But our run defense does not look good, and I could see Derrick Henry having a good game. So I wouldn't put that as a wash. Although Kenneth Walker does look pretty good. So close. But I think Adam wins. I think Adam wins 138 to 129. Adam, upset. Is it an upset? Where are the rankings wise? It's not. It's not an upset.
Adam's ahead of Hodge right now, but I think statistically, Adam's team is worse.
Yeah. But I'll take Adam with the upset tonight. So we got next is you, Cobb. You got Dash and Paul.
Yeah, this is probably what I would call the game of the week. If we're just looking at the other teams and the matchups. So let's go. This is a important Paul just snuck by Hodge last week, and he's looking pretty good for the playoff run. Dash, you're still ahead of the pack, but one loss by Paul, he's going to be right back into that. All like the 6 teams that are at 4-4 or 5-3, something like that.
Terrible.
Crazy. I don't want to. If I was making a playoff push, I do not want. I want to be as far away as possible. So going matchup to matchup, we'll go Mahomes versus Herbert. I'm going to go Mahomes just because of consistency. We've consistently seen Mahomes put up numbers that we're used to seeing. Herbert's been a little more up and down, and he's probably not going to have Keenan Allen, doesn't have Mike Williams. We're going to see what he's going to be able to do with that. Devontae Smith versus Lazard, assuming Lazard plays. I haven't seen much about that. I'm sure there's status update there, but I'm going to give it a wash between those two. I think they're pretty close with the targets they get. And Mostert versus Foreman. I feel like Paul is the king of getting these backup running backs that end up being useful later in the seasons. He always has guys like this, but Foreman, he's been dominating. I think Chuba Hubbard's supposed to be back this week, but I mean, Foreman's gonna keep carrying the load based off of how he did last week with 3 touchdowns. A lot of 3 touchdown weeks last week, games last week. So I'm gonna give that to Foreman. I think it's close. I mean, I trust Mostert more, I guess, but just based off of how Foreman's done when he started, I'm going to give Foreman the slight edge there. Kelsey's versus Andrews. Still don't know if Andrews is going to play. We'll give, he has a shoulder and a knee issue. I'm going to give Kelsey the edge there. It's going to be interesting to see how this game ends up if Andrew doesn't play. Diggs versus Michael Carter. I'll give Diggs the easy edge there. Jonathan Taylor versus CEH. Doesn't look like Jonathan Taylor is going to play, so not sure what's going to happen there. It'll be, I guess, I'm assuming Taylor's not going to play, so I'm just going to give the edge to CEH regardless of who Paul puts in, I guess. I'm not really saying great options. Patterson versus Palmer. If Patterson plays, he said he was at 90%. Don't know if they're going to give him a full load. He looked great early in the season, so if he gets that full load back, he'll be back. But I'm going to give Palmer the edge there. Was a joke 2 weeks ago. Now he's been taking. I mean, Mostert's the safer play, I guess, with Foreman still back-to-back weeks of being the starter, 15 and then 31. I mean, looked good. So yeah, I think regardless of all that, I think I'm going to give Dash a pretty comfortable win here. especially because Jonathan Taylor's not playing. I'll give him a 130 to 117 win.
Barry, what do you have with this projection?
Yeah, it's going to be close. It's going to be close. Even with the Cordell Patterson situation, yeah, I don't know. It's really tough to call this game here. I'm going to take Paul to win this one though. I'm going to go 131 to 127 here.
Not bad. Not bad. I think it's gonna be close. But I just think my guys who really the stack is gonna put my team so much over the edge that it's not gonna even matter. And the best part is it's gonna come at Sunday night, so it's gonna be like Paul's gonna have the lead. And then all of a sudden, it's going to be fucking just. I mean, some of you guys have experienced that before. You're playing against the Mahomes and the guys. You just have a lead, and all of a sudden, you see it like little by little just shrink. And we're coming off a bye. We got Kadarius Toney now. We don't know how he's going to be used. Freaking throwing bombs in maybe. So yeah, I'm I'm gonna go with my team here. I'm gonna go 150 to 129. Me, close one though. For a little bit till the end. All right. So I believe the last one. I think it's Barry and Roden. So Luck of the Alex versus Chasey Canton. This game, pretty interesting. This one's going to be an interesting one. Not as close as a lot of people think it's going to be, or people don't think this game's going to be close at all. I got people texting me saying that Barry's going to dominate. We finally get to see his full team, his super team he's put together for the first time, and we're going to see it finally this week. So we're going to go right now. Kyler Murray versus Seattle or Tom Brady versus the Rams. Rams don't look good, and neither do the Buccaneers. And I have not seen a season where Brady and his team look this bad before. Seattle actually playing some decent defense. Like at the beginning of the year, they kind of like sucked ass, but they've been playing some solid defense recently. I think this is gonna be a wash. And yeah, I think it's gonna be a wash. I think Brady might have a good game. I wouldn't be surprised if Brady actually does better than Murray this week. Because I don't think that Brady's that bad this year, and I think they just had some, the Panthers game 2 weeks ago. Yeah, the drop bomb from Mike Evans. I mean, that's a 7-0 like 75-yard bomb he would have had there. That would have been like fucking 1 million points. So Brady, I think this is the week where everything turns around for that team. So with that being said, Mike Evans, if Mike Evans plays, which I believe he's going to play, let's see, did he miss practice today? Was limited in practice. He'll play. Even against Jalen Ramsey, I think he'll have a big game. And I think Mike Evans will dominate Devontae Adams. I think the Raiders are imploding as we see. Devontae Adams, I think, had a 1 last week or some shit like that. Really awful game. Then Lenny App versus the Falcons. I'll give Eckler over Fournette. But I could see Lenny App having a good game. I think the Buccaneers are going to win that Rams game. So then you got Everett versus Ertz. I think this would be closer than a lot of people think. Everett is the only really option they have over there right now in San Diego. So since Mike Williams got hurt, we had the bye week for the Chargers last week. Now you're coming back in. You got Palmer. You got a bunch of bums out there, and then you got Gerald Everett. So Gerald Everett's going to have a big week this week, and he's going to dominate Ertz, I think. Jalen Waddle, Miles Sanders going to be Jalen Waddle. First time Jalen Waddle's not on the injury report this season, I think. So there you go. Jamal Williams, there's a big chance DeAndre Swift might not play, and even if DeAndre Swift plays, they're saying that he's not a. I think Campbell said he's not a 3-down back. He's not going to be getting the guy for the kind of the remainder of the season. So Jamal Williams is going to be getting a lot more carries and a lot more touches. I think Jamal Williams doesn't touch Tyreek Hill though. So Tyreek Hill over Jamal Williams, and then Zay Jones versus Cooper Kupp. What's Cooper Kupp's injury status? Return to range practice. Okay, so he should be fine. Yeah, he's going to play. Yeah, Cooper Kupp over Zay Jones. Keely starting Zay Jones, though. Admirable stuff there by Roden. But, you know what I'm going to say, guys? I'm going to say my guy, Tom Brady's going to come out and a stack of Tom Brady and Mike Evans. Hey, last time they played the Rams with that NFC, that divisional game last year where, they scored, went on top. and then Stafford and those guys came back and won that game. But Brady was the last time Brady looked Tom Brady we all know and love. And I think Tom Brady's going to bring that back out this weekend, and I think he's going to lead Roden's team to an upset over Marcus Berry this week in a close game. I'm going to go 136 to 134. Roden does that much more to beat Berry. And it's going to be kind of upsetting, too, because Berry had the last 2 wins, and it really didn't do much for him. But, yeah, I think Roden kind of puts a little damper in this Berry's playoff run and the championship run, his all-in season. So that's where I'm with it.
Ooh, we got Roden on too.
My guy, dude. Roden's my guy. That's all right. I see where he's going with the reverse jinx. I like you, Roden. Don't play your hand too much.
Yeah, I think you're right on thinking this is closer than what people might think going into the matchup. Just Kyler Murray against Seattle last time looked really rough, but I'm still going to give the wash there at quarterback. I'm still going to go Berry winning here. I'm excited to see him at full strength. We talked about he escaped. That would have been a huge blow. But I'll still go Berry pretty handily again. 150 to 116. I like that. I like that projection by Yahoo. So let's stick with that.
Barry, this is your matchup. Tej is saying, he's asking the question, is Barry on the hot seat if they lose? He's calling you Marcus Blast. But what do you think about your matchup this week? And do you think you're on the hot seat if you lose this week?
No, I don't think I'm on the hot seat. That triple stack definitely concerns me for the Bucks. They have looked really bad, and I don't know. This is a big game for Brady. They know what they have to do. That division's still wide open, which I still think they'll win their division there. So that's the only thing that concerns me. With that being said, I still win the game. I'm gonna go 145 to 133. Wow.
Yeah, I think if you lose, I think you are on the hot seat. I'm just gonna say that right now because this puts you at let's see here. Look at the Ox, 4-4, goes 4-5. ZT is playing the 9 seed. Okay, so the 9's pretty much done. So ZT needs a win. Then you got the Suspenders who are 4-4. So yeah, you got some at 4-4 who they playing. Suspenders is playing Ruben.
Yeah, ZT and Tasia next week. That's a big matchup.
So if they both win, they'll be playing each other. Who do you play next week?
I play Alex.
Okay. Yeah, so that's big for you. So you do need to win this week. This is a
must win
because you play Roden next week. So if you win this week, you go on a 4-game win streak going into next week, and I think you're going to win next week, obviously, because who you play. But this is a must win. So this is I think this is the match of the week, underrated match of the week. This one, Roden and Barry.
We want to see you get over 500. You haven't been over 500 yet.
Oof. And you cash in all your chips, dude. I was talking about the other day at Jason Dunn's wedding. I was actually talking to Sean Barber. He's a big fantasy player, former linebacker. And I told him about your move, and he couldn't believe it. He couldn't believe it. I was like, yeah, I think he's gonna win this week, but like right now, he might not even like if he loses, he might not make the playoffs, and then he won't have his first pick won't be till round 6 next year, and he just couldn't believe that you would do something like that. But people do what they gotta do sometimes.
I'm gonna take risk. Yeah, so I'm here to win. So
I think you gotta take risks. What's the old saying? The Wayne Gretzky saying.
You lose 100% of the shots you don't take, or something like that.
Yep, 100%. All right, so we're gonna go to that. I believe that was last matchup.
Yep.
Okay. We're gonna go to the Pancake King rankings, and Pancake King rankings are brought to you by IHOP, the home of the stack. It's fall. The pumpkin pancakes are back. My favorite. So why don't you go ahead and get yourself some pumpkin pancakes? Enjoy yourself. Go sit down. Have some pancakes. Get a couple stacks. I love stacks, and I think most people in the league love stacks. So go get yourself some pancakes because this is the Pancake King rankings brought to you by IHOP. stack is back, and so the pumpkin pancake stacks. Go get them. IHOP. Everyone's loving them. I'm loving them. I'm gonna go get myself some after this show tonight to have some with the Thursday night game. Come on, pumpkin pancakes and Thursday night football. Come on, what's more American than that? Nothing is. Like what Tej said, key stat for me: the only guy to play a full game after I traded them is Hurts, Keenan, Michael Thomas, Akers, Ridley. Conklin was waived, and so was Algier. Interesting. Good stat. So you fucked over a lot of people. So essentially what you're telling us is a lot of people this week will not be trading with you ever again, is what you're telling us. Good job, buddy. Want to make sure that's known to everybody. Okay. All right. So we got Pancake King rankings. All right. So we're going to go start with number 7. For me, my number 7 is a team that beat me last week and is playing a team they should win this week. Well, actually, no, that's next week. A team they should beat this week, and that is ZT. I just don't think ZT's team has it, man. I know Lamar Jackson, I know Kamara, but that was Kamara's best game by a long shot. Kamara doesn't have that 40. Kamara ain't winning that game last week. Let me just put it to you frankly. If you're gonna be relying on Kamara to get 40, good luck. I just don't see you making the playoffs. I really don't. And that's the thing. I want ZT to make the playoffs. I actually want him to give a chance to get the title. A long awaited title. I think he is the longest playoff drought in BL Plus history without a title, which is pretty sad. I've seen guys come in this league for a few years get 2 titles, because Cobb started actually 4 years after ZT and has 2 more titles than ZT. So you explain to me that, it's crazy. But anyway, I got ZT at my 7th spot. So who is your 7th spot, Cobb?
Yeah, this is a tough one. I think 6, 7, and 8 for me are neck and neck. So this is kind of a coin flip, even though coin's only 2. I'm going to go with Paul at 7. I don't know. I think similar to what you were saying about ZT, I think there's just a division between the top 6 and just the full roster. I think like Herbert's a good quarterback. Devonta Smith is nice. Foreman, hopefully, is going to be a good piece. Mark Andrews and Jonathan Taylor, though, and obviously thinks it's amazing. Those guys have been injured. And that's just rough because those are going to be your top 2 guys right behind Diggs. And with Keenan Allen out now, I don't know. It's just I think something's missing there. So I'm going to go Paul at 7.
Barry, who's your 7th spot?
Cool. I'm taking myself here at number 7.
Wow.
Yeah, I still got a lot to prove. Paul and because we don't know if this whole trade thing is gonna work out, but like I'm not a playoff team as of yet, so I got more winning to do for me to get that in that top 6. So I'm 7.
All right, I like it. So 8, I have my guy Perka Beasley following Cobb here. Perka Beasley, I think Cobb had said some really good stuff there. I mean, just like looking at his team, Justin Herbert's not really panned out to be the guy this year, and his weapons are depleted. He's starting Josh Palmer. He's trying to go for the stack. He's trying to go for the non-stack to try to make up for the Keenan Allen trade that he had. Paul's regretting that Kittle trade. Not that it would have helped him this week, but man, to have Kittle and Mark Andrews double tight end sets, man, it'd be amazing because they're both. I mean, well, Andrews has been kind of banged up, but I just think that Devontae Smith, I'm not really high on. Deontay Foreman, you're relying on a guy who's been pretty much like a career fill-in backup. But last year he looked all right with Tennessee when Henry went down, and then right now he's filling in. And then Chuba Hubbard I think is coming back this week, so who knows how long this Deontay Foreman train's going to last. So you're really relying on Diggs to put up big numbers, and JT's really not been there for you this year. That's kind of unfortunate. So yeah, I just don't see this team. This is not one of Paul's best teams, and I love this kid. I love Paul. Paul's one of my ride or dies at B-ball every Tuesday night at Little Run. And I love this kid. I'm rooting for him. I just don't think this is the year. As of right now, he's an 8 spot for me. So,
yeah, we have pretty close rankings because at 8, I'm going to go ZT, my opponent of the week. I think he's going to beat me this week, but you can tell, I mean, just by the fact that he doesn't have faith in his team, we've seen that. He thinks that I might upset him here. That's got to tell you all you need to know. It's like Dash said, similar to Paul. I think there's a piece or 2 missing to really make a playoff push here, especially with Barry creeping right behind him. I think ZT's fits in right at 8.
Barry, who's your 8 spot?
I have Tasia here for my 8th spot. Mm-hmm. just the same reason why I had last week. I like his roster, and I just don't think he's quite there yet. He's got to win a couple more games, and this week's a big week for him. So, and obviously with D-Hop coming back and the Etienne deal, big part of his team. So, yeah, he's my spot here.
I think Tate has done more than enough to put him in the top 6 for me, at least. The scoring 174. Hopkins coming back has really helped him out. I just think depth might be an issue, so he better hope that a lot of these guys don't get hurt going down the stretch because, I mean, he had a lot of these guys, like Michael Thomas done. He's traded a lot of his depth pieces to get some of these guys he has. That's fine, but we'll see. Yeah, that's true. Tajer just said Barry was a bigger fan of my team when half my team was on the IR, which is funny actually. But yeah, it seems like Murray's only throwing to D-Hop, so I think D-Hop has really put him over the edge. And the Etienne deal was a nice steal too. I don't know. Alex is the idiot, so whatever. But we're gonna go 9. My 9 spots. My boy Dave, who's gonna pull off the upset this week. I just think he's relying on the old. He's relying on the Buccaneers stack, and while I think it's going to come back this week and do all right, I just don't think the TB Stackaneers is going to be pretty much a team for the future, really. I just don't think that's going to be something for much longer. I do think this week they bounce back. I love Waddle. He's been doing some good things. Jamal Williams is key, but the last flex is where it's like Zay Jones. It's too bad Waller hasn't done anything. Mike Williams getting hurt really hurt him. And then Jeff Wilson Jr. losing his job in San Francisco, then being the backup handcuff in Miami now. So it's like, yeah, I mean, his team had promise. You can see on paper, it should have been key going into the season, and I was rooting for it. And yeah, just the Zay Jones thing really hurts, and then the fact that the Buccaneers haven't looked good this year. So, but I do think they bounce back this week. However, I just don't think his team is that good overall. So that's where I'm at with my boy Dave. 9.
Yeah, I have Dave rated 9 as well. Won't add too much more. It's very unfortunate with the injuries he's had. Obviously, Waller not panning out. Mike Williams hurt. Like you said, the 49ers running backs with Eli Mitchell and Jeff Wilson, those guys just being – I mean, Jeff Wilson with the Dolphins now, but unfortunate situation he has on his roster, especially with Brady and not being himself. Jahan Dotson looked like he was going to be one of the keyest rookie receivers for the first few weeks. Hasn't done anything since. I guess he's been injured, but I think he had a good team early on. I guess I didn't rank him high ever, but I think he had a good team. He has a much better team than the bottom 3. Just unfortunate with all the injuries with Dave this year, but I'll have him at 9.
Barry?
I'm going to complete the trifecta here at 9 with Dave. Like I said earlier on the show, that triple stack hasn't been too good for him this so far, but this could be the week, and I just really hope it's not. But outside that, like I like his team, so he's my 9th seed here.
Yeah, so my 10 spot is my guy Cobb, my co-host here. It's sad because like if you look at his team right now, you'd be like, damn, this team went back to back and then went back to back to back in the championship, and he was just in one last year. You look at his teams like how the fuck this team was, like. I can't find 3 keepers on this team. Like Cook's the only one that looks like he's going to keep going into next year, but looks like his team's he's going to be trading for a lot of pieces going forward next year. I think it's a rebuild, and I think he knows that. I think he understands that, and it's just sad to see because this is one of the best teams. I mean, this owner, what he did, his 3-year run was probably the best, one of the best runs we've seen in this league. One of the best. Because you look at mine going back to 2018. I'm in the semifinals and championship every year.
Championships did you win?
This is about you, buddy, and you're in the Pancake King rankings right here. But I used to know the Justin Fields thing. I mean, he knows he's on a rebuild. He's traded half his pieces, and yeah, it's just sad. Some could point to the Kamara trade last year putting him into his demise because I think you have Kamara, you have Cook going into the season. I think that team's pretty solid. And that's a team that could be in the playoffs right now, but. Look, he didn't do that. He traded a lot of his pieces. He's got good draft capital. I wish him all the best in the offseason. I'm going to be paying attention to him and maybe offering some of the pieces I have in my team for some compensation, possibly. So if he's lucky enough. But, I have my guy Kyle at number 10.
Yeah, I have myself at number 10 as well. I think the fact that my team looks better than the bottom 2 when I've traded away 2 of my traded away Joe Mixon, traded away Alan Zard, not the keyest, but still traded him away. And then I also invested in the Broncos offense, and I'm still better than 2 teams. Like that's kind of key.
Yeah.
But like you said, not a lot of other good stuff going out there. I don't think I'm done making moves yet. So we'll see if I'm ready for next, or in better position for next year than currently. I stand by the Kamara trade last year, since you brought that up. Similar to Barry, that was ready to risk it for the biscuit. I got Pittman, Kittle, Deontay Johnson, some good pieces out of that I needed with all the injuries I had going on the championship. And that's another thing, is I made it to the championship. So still made money last year. Not the same result, or the result I wanted, but yeah, rough season on to next year. I have me at 10.
Yeah.
Barry, who's your 10?
I also have Cobb at 10 here for the reasons he mentioned. Like he's basically trading away his entire team and still have a better roster than Ruben and as well as Alex here. So he's my 10th seed here.
So my 11th spot, I'll make this quick. This is the guy who was leading the Pancake King rankings for the first few weeks, and then Alex slid in there pretty fast and wanted those pancakes a little more than he did. It's Ruben. So yeah, outside of Burrow and Higgins, which Higgins, he's the guy now until Chase comes back. But they were Rashad White, Romeo Doubs, Noah Fant. I mean, this is the guys he's starting. Possibilities on the backup. Hey, he's got Deion Jackson. So if Taylor's out, Deion Jackson looked fucking phenomenal, actually. I think he looked better than Taylor this year when he actually played. But yeah, Najee Harris has sucked. A lot of misses. The Kyle Pitts thing was awful. Yeah, there's a lot of misses for the guy, and he really hasn't since week 1. He really hasn't been able to fill a good team on his starting roster. So he's out. He's 11th spot for me. So, Cobb, who's your 11?
Yeah, Ruben's my 11 as well. Every week I look at his team. Every week I'm surprised this isn't a team that traded away half of them. But yeah, I mean, his keepers were the biggest. Well, his drafting wasn't great, but his keepers of Najee and Kyle Pitts really didn't pan out. And then we can also go back to that draft day trade he made that didn't help him. But yeah, Ruben's at 11. He should be thankful that he's 2 games ahead of our Pancake King. So,
Barry, who's your 11?
No, I have Ruben here as well. Yeah, his drafting wasn't very good, and I don't he already just getting ready for next season. So,
all right, so now it's time for the Pancake King. You guys ready for some Pancake King? I am.
You are the Pancake King, young and sweet, hiding fan of thieves. Ooh, see that boy, watch that taste, dig in the Pancake King.
All right, that theme, man, fucking perfect. Yeah, so my Pancake King is the guy who was seen earlier on the show chugging a brewski. A high noon was my guy, Alex. I mean, he's traded every asset he has. Yeah, he's really all in on next year. So thanks to Barry for that one. So yeah, Alex, my Pancake King. Cobb.
Yeah, Alex is my Pancake King as well. I honestly didn't even notice the Etienne trade until I saw he was on Taja's team. Awful. But oh well. On to next year for Alex. Pancake King. Excited to see him at IHOP.
Yeah. Barry?
Yeah, I have Alex here as my as the Pancake King here for obviously knows he's tanking. He traded away everything. Literally has my entire draft. So yeah.
All right, so we tinkered the final segment here. It's the Barry's motivational squeeze. So we allowed Barry to pick any team to give some kind of motivational advice to. So we're gonna go to that right now because Alex too far gone. There's no advice you can give the kid. So Barry's gonna give us some Barry's motivational squeeze right now.
This is why you're fucking holding back, and I'm tired of the BS.
All righty. Give us, Barry, who is the subject of your motivational squeeze this week?
Yeah, it's back to myself again. This is a big week again. This is a big week. Sorry, man. I'm not going to motivate other people's teams to make a playoff one when I'm trying to make a run.
Oh my god, dude! You
Fuck
really,
that.
you don't really understand.
Motivate Roden to beat Stu.
There's other things you
I'm
need
playing
besides
Roden.
winning. By the way, you need other people to lose too, dude. So you can motivate. There's other ways around it to be creative with it. But again, you're not a full time host. You're practicing right now for next year. But continue with whatever you got in store for us.
Yeah, this is another big week for me. Playoffs have already started for me in a way. Like every game from here on out will be a playoff game. So I got to get the job done. It's going to be tough against Dave here.
Tay just said I thought you liked helping people.
Well, I love
So why
helping
would-
people, but not in this situation.
All right. Well, Barry's got to work on his motivational squeeze because that was awful. So, all right, that does it for us at the Cobb and Dash Show. We'll see you guys next week as we look forward to previewing Week 10 of the fantasy season. It's almost over, folks. So enjoy it. Enjoy the last few weeks while you can. So we'll
Trade
see you
deadline in a week.
Trade deadline a week. So reach out to some people like Cobb who's looking to move off his last, really the only asset he has in his team at this point. So. All right, guys. We'll see you next week.
Sneak that in.